Hi, I'm James the Light Guy, and today we're taking a look at a modern take of a vintage bulb design. This is from Feit Electric. I got it from Home Depot for $8. This is their LED original vintage style bulb. We can see that this is their 40-watt replacement. It has a spiral or coiled LED filament with amber glass, a T10 base, and should consume about 4.5 watts. Another thing to note is the temperature color of 2000 Kelvin, which will be helped by that amber glass, and that it is dimmable. You get a cute little story about the history of the light bulb and some claims of energy efficiency over a tungsten bulb, which obviously LEDs are going to be much less power consuming. All right, let's take this out of the box. Here you can see that the glass does have a yellow tinge to it and a simple looking base, standard looking base. If we look down inside, it's hard to see with all the reflections, but at just the right angle you might be able to see the circuitry down in there. And the filament is a string of micro LEDs coiled up around a center support pillar. Let's zoom out a sec. There we go. And put it in here. Alright, we were using our Spartan power meter until I killed it. Now we are using this new meter K. It's not as easy to read, so I'll move everything closer in just a moment. But first, let's just turn it on and see how it looks. Starting real low. See, we can get it real dim, and we can crank up the brightness. This is not super bright. Let me turn off the studio lights so we can get a better look. Video may start to look a little grainy as it is pretty dark in here now. We'll turn down the lights a little bit more as we dim. Camera is trying its best to keep that looking bright. You can see the limited lights I have behind me creating a shadow. Let's zoom in on that bulb. Alright, with the bulb off, we can barely see the filament inside, and as we turn on the power, we get a very dim glow. Got my hand in here for comparison as to how much light it's producing. And there we go, full brightness. Let's turn that back down, get another look at the chips inside that filament. Let's bring it in real close, see if we can see any of them. Here we go, with the lights turned way down and zoomed in pretty far, you can see all the little LED chips inside that filament. Alright, let's turn everything back on and see what the meter has to say. Now that we're zoomed down in on the meter, we can turn it on. We'll only be caring about the top row here. We can see that we are slowly bringing up the wattage. There we go. Little delay there. And we are drawing 4.2 watts at max brightness. And the box said 4.5, so within reason. We're going to ignore max watts because it did not draw 607 watts. Current amperage draw is 40 milliamps. Again, we're going to ignore the max amps. That's my overload protection. We are currently on a 60 hertz electrical cycle, and the power factor of this is an 0.86, which is pretty good. That's, if you have a smart meter, this will only be showing as drawing less than 6 watts at full brightness, as opposed to some of the other LEDs that we've reviewed with a low power factor that smart meters come up with a fancy way of telling you that they believe that they're using more electricity than they actually are. And yeah, we're just on 123 volt circuit here. All right, let's back everything up. So, time for a conclusion. This is a very cool, interesting bulb. It doesn't use a lot of power, and depending on what sort of atmosphere you're trying to create, it could be very useful. There is a bit of a shimmer thanks to the curved glass. It does show up a little on camera, or more so on camera than it does in real life, but something that may, tweak some people's opinion of the bulb. The fact that it is dimmable is a huge plus. And at $8, it was a great purchase. I don't know how long this bulb is designed to last for. It says, 13 years, 15,000 hours on here. But that is based off of 3 hours per day. I could see that happening. These chips don't consume a lot of power and thus won't get too hot, so I believe it. In any case, that's all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, consider sharing with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, I'm James the Light Guy.